XRP is sitting right on the edge of breaking below $1, a level a lot of people swore we would never see again. And right now, the fear out there is real. If you're holding at a loss, you can feel it. So in this video, I'm going to give you the honest, complete picture, not the hype and not the panic. I'll show you exactly what the top XRP chart analysts are actually predicting could happen next, why some of the smartest money seems to be doing the complete opposite of the crowd, and the one thing you genuinely need to hear before you make any emotional decision near this level. And I want to be clear up front, I am not here to tell you to buy, and I'm not here to scare you into selling. This channel is called Verified, and on a day like this, a calm and honest read is the most valuable thing I can give you. Let's get into it. One honest note first, and it matters more than usual today. Everything here is research and perspective to help you understand the situation. It is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and I will never tell you what to buy, sell, or hold. Crypto is volatile and genuinely risky, and you should only ever make decisions that fit your own life and your own risk tolerance. Do your own research, okay? Let's walk through it. So let's start by being honest about exactly where we are, because pretending it's fine helps nobody. XRP is hovering just above $1, down somewhere around 60 to 70% from its high near $3.65 set back in July of last year. That is a brutal, grinding slide, and if you are sitting in a loss on your XRP right now, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not alone, not even close. A large majority of XRP holders are underwater at these levels, so this isn't a moment for fake positivity. It's a moment for clear eyes. Now, let's look at what the analysts are actually saying, because several well-known XRP chart watchers are converging on a surprisingly similar roadmap. The core scenario goes like this. If XRP loses the dollar, the next major target zone many of them point to is around 87 to 90 cents, a level that lines up with a key Fibonacci retracement before any larger reversal begins. Some go further and float 70 or even 80 cents in a deeper case. And here's the part of their thesis that's actually constructive. They argue that this kind of moment, maximum fear, everyone giving up at once, is historically exactly where cycle bottoms have tended to form. In their view, if XRP can put in that low and then reclaim $1.30 and $1.65 as support, that's what would open the door back toward the old highs. But now I have to be the honest voice in the room, because this is where hype channels mislead you. This is a collection of scenarios, not a guarantee. Technical analysis maps probabilities, not certainties. These exact targets get invalidated all the time, and anyone who tells you they know for a fact that XRP bottoms at 87 cents is simply guessing with a confident voice. There's also a historical pattern several analysts keep pointing to, and it's genuinely interesting. They note that so-called midterm years, 2014, 2018, 2022, and now 2026, have historically been bearish stretches for XRP, often the year a bear market fully plays out after a prior peak. And on the bigger timeframes, XRP's weekly and monthly momentum readings are flashing some of the most oversold levels seen in over a decade, with price now approaching its 200-week moving average, a line that marked the cycle low back in 2022. So the data does suggest XRP is deeply stretched to the downside. But here's the honest caveat. History rhyming is not the same as history repeating. A pattern tells you what tended to happen before. It does not promise you what must happen now. Treat it as context, not prophecy. Now here's the part that's actually worth your attention, and I'll give it to you with the full nuance the hype accounts skip. The popular narrative right now is that this selling is mostly retail, everyday holders capitulating in fear, while big institutions quietly accumulate. And there is some real support for that idea. XRP ETFs have continued to see net inflows since their launch, with only a handful of outflow days, which tells you institutional demand has not disappeared even with the price falling. And new structures are actively pulling XRP off the open market, like the Evernorth Treasury Company, which is building a $1 billion XRP position, and ecosystem projects working to lock up large amounts of XRP for yield and on-chain finance. All of that quietly tightens supply over time. But here's the honest nuance. The on-chain picture is not perfectly clean. Some large wallets have also been distributing XRP recently. So this is not a tidy story where retail sells and every whale buys. The accurate version is this: institutional demand is genuinely present and supply is slowly being locked away. But it's a mixed picture, not a guaranteed one-way bet. And that honesty matters, because the difference between conviction and blind hope is whether you can hold both the good and the messy at the same time. So let me give you the verified bottom line, and this is the most important part of the entire video. Could XRP dip below $1, even into the high 80s or lower? Yes, the trend is weak, and the analysts' roadmap is plausible. Could this also be very close to a major bottom, given how stretched and oversold it is? Also yes. And the completely honest truth is that nobody, not me, not any analyst with a beautiful chart, can tell you exactly where or when it turns. So here is what I will not do. I will not tell you to aggressively buy the dip, and I will absolutely not tell you to scrape together every dollar you can find to throw at a falling asset. That is how people get genuinely hurt. If you are underwater right now, the single most important thing is to make calm, rational decisions instead of decisions driven by fear or by the fear of missing out. Never put in money you cannot truly afford to lose. Your financial stability and your peace of mind are worth far more than perfectly catching a bottom that nobody can time anyway. Take care of yourself first. The market will always be here. And when you strip away all the short-term price drama, the things that actually matter underneath haven't changed. Real institutions are still building on and around XRP. Supply is slowly being locked up through treasuries and ecosystem projects. And the regulatory clarity that could genuinely move the needle, like the Clarity Act in the US, is still working its way through the system. Though I'll be straight with you, it is currently stalled in the Senate and far from guaranteed. So anyone telling you it's about to pass any day now is getting ahead of the facts. The price will do what it does in the short term. The foundation is what you watch over the long term. And the people who keep a level head while everyone around them is either panicking or hyping are almost always the ones who end up making the clearest decisions. One last reminder before I go. This video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Crypto is volatile and genuinely risky, and you should always do your own research and consider speaking to a licensed professional before making any decision. My only job here is to give you the real picture, the documented facts, and the honest unknowns, so you can think clearly for yourself. If you appreciate getting the calm, verified version instead of fear or hype, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And tell me in the comments, where do you honestly think XRP bottoms? Or do you think it already has? I read every single one. Take care of yourself, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one.